I know the whole system's flawed, like the way that it was designed, and like we all know this, but that's probably the most sad part is people know it and then they don't do
They're
anything
not
about
brave
it.
enough.
And they're not, yeah, they don't have the courage, or maybe they just hadn't came across the right person to mentor them and help them, or they haven't been nudged or pushed or encouraged.
When you live in gratitude, everything changes. Your energy shifts, your perspective expands, your heart opens, your life
Hey, welcome to
improves,
the
you
Lopez
attract more
Collective. My name
things
is
to be
Caleb
grateful
Lopez,
And
for.
I'm Sarah Lopez.
and we're so glad you're here. This is a space built for people who are done living by someone else's script. People who are ready to lead their families well, build their businesses, and live a life that's rooted in faith.
Every episode, we're going to get real with you guys about leadership, about marriage, about raising athletes with character, and what it looks like to live life by design.
We're not here to be perfect. We're just here to be honest, because the conversations that changed our lives, they happen in a small room like this between real people who are willing to go there. So consider this your invitation to dream with us. Welcome to the collective.
Take a bow every day, every moment, every breath, living in gratitude.
What's up?
What do you mean, what's up?
Let's talk about the American dream.
Okay.
That's what we're going to be talking about. So, I know we live a very different life than most people, 95% of people.
Just had different choices.
Yeah. And we decided that we wanted to do pretty much the opposite of what everybody else was doing.
Mhm.
Because if we do the same thing that everybody else does, then we're going to
the
get,
same result.
yeah, we'll
Yeah.
get the same result. So I know that's always been your vision, is to kind of redefine what the American dream really looks like. But what is that dream for you? Like what is it that you kind of grew up imagining and wanting your life to look like? And obviously we are trying to live that now, but what made
Mhm.
that spark for you?
Yeah, I think growing up, and you can attest to your story, but like growing up, I watched my grandparents, I watched my parents like just work hard. My dad, was always he was either working or sleeping, getting ready to work, right? And I feel like we didn't really have as much time as a family as would have liked it or liked to have had. And seeing my grandparents work their whole life to then retire, and I think my grandfather got maybe a solid 10 years in retirement before he got sick and passed away. And it just really taught me early on, like, if I wanted more time with my family, if I wanted to be able to be present and give them a life that I didn't have growing up, I would have to choose opposite. And truthfully, like I was going to college to get to be a doctor, and I thought that's what I wanted to be. And the longer I sat in class, I was like, you know what? I'm going to literally go through school for probably 15 years to then graduate to then never be around my family. And I was like, that's kind of dumb. And
Well, it's the 40 life where you
yeah.
gotta, work 40 hours a week for 40 years to maybe retire off of 40% of your income. And that's the American dream that most people are going for, where they graduate high school, college, and then they go into a career where it's like they're trading time for money and
Yeah.
they're not really fulfilled and satisfied. And I know a lot of our parents and grandparents did that, and we saw that and we were
Right.
like, we want to do something reimagined. Like,
Yeah.
let's not do that.
Yeah. And I mean, think about it. You're in high school and you're 16 years old, right? I was 16 my sophomore year. Or no, my junior year. Yeah, my junior year. And it's like, what are you going to be when you grow up? And I'm like, I just turned 16. I can drive a car. I don't know what I want to be.
Literally.
And then you
I just wanted to play baseball. Literally.
exactly. And it's like whatever that leads me to. And so they push you into college at 17. I was 17 years old when I enrolled in college. A max you're 18, maybe 19 years old if you're the oldest in your class, and you have no idea what you want to do for the rest of your life. So they send us to college. We pick a career. We probably change that major 2, 3 times. I know I changed my major at least once in college to then graduate and not even do what I went to college for.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just think it's really, I don't think that college is a scam. but it's a scam to push it onto 16, 17, and 18-year-olds when they have no idea what they
Yeah,
want to
they
do
don't
when
even
they
know what
grow
they
up.
want to do, but it's the pressure around where it's like but that's the American dream that's been sold to us is like go to high school, make good grades, go to college, graduate with a bachelor's degree, and then go try to find a
Yeah.
good job. And it's like you're already $100,000 in debt, and then you get a job that's probably paying you less than that, and you're trying to find a job. Like there's so many people. I don't know what the percentages are, but I wish I would have had the percentages in front of me. But the percentages of people who actually go to college and are using their degree, it's nuts. Like nowadays, you don't
Right.
have to do that. And obviously, if you have kids, like we got 4 kids, like I don't want to always have to go to work and ask for time off and get underpaid,
Ask a grown
overworked.
person to
Yeah,
get
ask a
permission.
grown,
Yeah.
and like I said, you got to do what you got to do for your family. And, there's multiple different things that we've, I guess, tried or, we thought a direction that God was taking us. But like, yeah, it's just, I guess I can't reimagine what our life would look like without us first reimagining, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. Like, I don't
Well,
know.
let's start there because I mean, obviously, when I met you, it was like, hey, I'm going to play professional baseball. Like,
Yeah.
you're either with me or you're not. Let me know. It's going to be a grind. And obviously, here we are. I chose that grind with you. But let's start there because my dream was the college dream. I was the first kid to go to college out of, for my parents, obviously, but then, but two, that my grandparents didn't go to college. So you actually had a dream of I'm going to be a professional athlete,
Mhm.
right? And I'm going to go play professional baseball. And obviously we're not playing baseball anymore, but like even that dream sold to you, like let's go there.
Mhm.
Like we're living a different dream.
Yeah.
And how would you compare the two?
Well, first and foremost, I just ate, slept, and breathed baseball. Still kind of do, right? But yeah, I thought that was like the only thing that I could do that I was good at, that I could make money to do it.
Mhm.
And I saw this lifestyle, and it really was just the lifestyle. Like it wasn't even about baseball. Like I loved the game, but it was more of just the lifestyle that I saw those players living. Like we all
That
watch
makes
them on
sense.
TV, and it's like, they're celebrities and signing autographs, and it's the feeling of being accepted and loved and feeling like you're enough, and baseball brings that to you. It really does. Like
Mhm.
if you can make it, especially down here in the South, like you're
It, yeah.
you're like praised, and you're on a pedestal, and so like that feeling, it gets addicting. You know what I mean? So like that's the dream of like, oh, I'm gonna have this lifestyle. I'm gonna have the car, the house, I'm gonna be able to travel and play baseball. People are gonna come watch me play, and like all those things. And so it's very like self. When I say it like that, now it sounds like
I would
self.
love to be the spotlight.
Well, yeah. I mean, but but yeah. I mean, the dream though. Like, I think what I've learned now is that it's not about what you do; it's why you do it. And
That's
so I
good.
think we've learned that where if you could do something that brings you the same feeling, it doesn't really matter like what you're doing. Like you could be, I always use this analogy, you could be shoveling manure, right? And then if it's going to bring you the lifestyle, the freedom, the travel, the time with your family, like you'll do whatever it takes to have freedom and a dream and the life that you imagine.
It's true.
And it doesn't matter what you do, it's the why you do it.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, but yeah, I mean, I just thought baseball was the only pathway that I could live that lifestyle and dream.
So do you feel like that's why a lot of people get stuck because they don't actually think for themselves, but they're being told what is
100%.
possible?
Well, it's people get, I guess people get stuck because we've been conditioned to just think inside the box of
Mm.
just, yeah, that you just go get a stable income, or, go, like, don't take risks, just go. Yeah, people get stuck and they don't look at other opportunities, or uh, they don't invest in their personal development or their growth, or they just settle or whatever. So it's like especially if you're in a career that doesn't promote uh, growth. Like you can get stuck in your career. I mean, you can get stuck in a relationship, maybe. You can get stuck in like,
It's
I
true.
mean, I don't know, which, yeah.
I mean, well, I even go back to like when we chose home birth, right? And when people find out like I had 4 home births, they're like, "Oh, I could never be you. I could never do that." And it goes back and it like it correlates with, us running a business, us choosing home birth. Like it's all a mindset, right? Right. And it's all about what you're putting and fueling yourself with to get the outcome that you desire. And so most people don't think they could do home births because they're told, well, you could go to the hospital and, get a get medication so you don't feel any pain. But the truth is, if you work on your mindset, the pain really it can be overcame with your own body releasing things to help offset the pain. And it makes me think about the two, but we use scare tactics, right?
Hmm.
Like even I've had conversations before where people are like, "Well, what happens if your baby something's wrong with your baby and you can't get to the hospital fast enough?" And it's just like, why are we already
Yeah, you're
thinking
already thinking
negatively?
worst case scenario all the time.
Yeah, and so we're always thinking we're already programming ourselves. So same thing with, choosing to go build your own life and build your own business. It's like, well, what if I fail? But what if you succeed? And it's
Yeah, literally.
and if you just flip the script on everything that you've been told, you actually will have a greater life. And so I think that's really unique. With your baseball, you even correlating like it's not necessarily the thing I was doing, but the thing I wanted. And so
Yeah.
tell us like now, obviously a businessman, you have a family, like what you did in baseball versus the life you're actually living now. What are you so thankful for in the path that we've chosen?
Yeah, I'm just thankful that like we have been able to develop another another way for us to still live the same lifestyle, be able to travel, to be able to do some things and be fulfilled. Because I mean, fulfillment is really important. So I think back to during the summertime because all of our kids' birthdays are in the summertime. I'm even thinking right now, Jess is playing travel ball. If I was playing ball, like
Mm.
I wouldn't be able to coach him. And there's so many different retired athletes I talk to that they're enjoying like
Not the grind.
they're enjoying like actually being able to go to
Yeah.
a T-ball game, right? Like shout out Tony if you watch this. Like Tony Kemp,
Oh,
talked to him, saw him post about him seeing his little girl playing T-ball, and it's like there's a lot of us that when we really take a step back, it's like that's what really matters at the end of the day is
yeah.
family, kids, and of course you sacrifice to go create that life up front. Like you go have a nice long career, but it's like at what cost, you know? But yeah, I'm just thankful that I mean, obviously you pioneered kind of the thought process because I was so one dimensional and kind of one track mind, and
Mhm.
even early on I was still like, man, I could go back and play ball like that because once you hold on to a dream for so long,
What you been conditioned
you
to know.
like you
Yeah.
it's so hard to let it go, you know? Like I mean, at least for baseball players, but that's with anything. Like if someone's holding on to a dream, even like if you had a dream to be a singer or a, movie star and all these things, like it's like you can't let it go, and it's just it's so hard. And but when you realize the dream reimagined, when you really reimagine, it's like, what do you actually want?
Mm.
It's not about being a movie star. It's not about being a celebrity. It's not. It's about the feeling that you get
One doing.
when you're doing those things. And so if you can still find that same feeling doing something else, then it doesn't matter what you're doing. And so I'm thankful that I was able to reprogram my brain to be like, okay, if I just it's not about what I do, it's why I'm doing it and what it's going to bring me and how it's going to make me feel. Because that's really what we're all searching is how can we feel? And some of us were numb because we don't know how to express it, or we had people beat us up with the words, or you'll never amount to anything, or and we're just so damaged to the point where we're living a nightmare.
Our dreamer's dead, right?
Yeah, the dreamer is beat to a pulp,
Yeah.
really. But that's what I love. What we get to do is like help people dream again. Like we actually get to help people hope.
That it's possible. Yeah.
And you were talking about something just a second ago. The herd mentality is what we call it, where you can, what everybody else is doing. Oh, you should put your money in 401k because everybody at your company does it, or everybody go to the hospital because that's what everybody does for birth. That's just what you do, but you don't actually take the time to look at all the things, and it's just herd mentality.
So true.
So like one thing that I was going to say is the buffalo. I don't know if have I told you this before?
I don't know.
You might have heard me say this before.
All right,
Okay.
tell me.
So the buffalo, when there's a storm.
Yeah.
Do you remember me talking about this?
It sounded familiar.
Okay, so when there's a storm, the buffalo herd, because buffaloes usually travel in a herd, the storm, if they can sense that it's raining, the buffalo, they don't run away from the storm to try to avoid the storm. They actually go towards the storm, where most people, they would run away from the tough stuff. But the buffalo, they know that if they can go through the storm, then they'll get out faster than if they try to run away from the storm, and they can get through it.
I don't think I've ever heard.
Have you not heard me talk about this before?
This is a really good story. Okay.
You'd never heard? Okay.
No.
I don't know how
makes so much sense because, like, we know the sunshine is on the other side of the storm.
Right. And so a lot of people, they avoid going through the tough stuff and they keep running from it. When if you could just, but like the herd mentality is people are running with the herd away from the storm. But the ones who run away from the storm, those are the ones that get eat up and messed up, and they get into a landslide with all the flood waters and all, like they get thrown away.
It feels safe at the moment.
But it's safe. Yeah, it's safe.
Yeah.
That's because that's what we feel. We want to feel safe. We want to feel comfortable. Like we're constantly fighting to stay safe and survive.
Yeah.
But learning from the buffalo, which I'm not saying you got to run into a burning building on fire. I'm just saying, like,
please don't.
The metaphor there is you run through the storm and you'll get out faster.
Yeah.
Rather than, but if you're following everybody else, the 95% of people that are, like, you're going to get what everybody else gets at 95%. Like, if you're trying to get what the 5% of people get, you got to be willing to do what 95% of people aren't willing to do.
And the truth is the people who risk the most get the most reward. And we don't want to risk anything because our brain is going to work to keep us safe. And so the moment we give in to that, it's when we fall into that 95% of people and we're stuck ultimately. And even you talking about the dream and like this dream that you just were, you grew up wanting. I think that's what we're so good at is like still, like we want our kids to dream and we want them to dream big. And we, like Justice, for instance, right? He wants to play Major League Baseball. Truthfully, he says he wants to play one season, win the World Series, and then he wants to move on. But I think that's because we give him the freedom to actually express himself. We don't say you're only going to be a baseball player, right? And the truth is, secretly, I'm like, I don't care because I live that with you and I know the grind and I know the environment it holds. Like, I know the toxicness inside the clubhouse, right? Where they're just video gaming, talking about how they're going to party that night and the girls that are going to come see them in the games. Like, do I really want, like, thinking about my 9-year-old, do I really want him around that? Like, do I know the life it can give him? Absolutely. And if he chooses that, thank goodness we're going to be in a position to put him into a house that he don't have to room with 7 guys. But at the end of the day, I think just giving your kids a space to dream and to dream big, because the MLB is a lot of little boys' dreams, but also letting them know, like, you can still go do other things. Like, I'm not putting all that pressure on you because it's not about me at all. It's all about what do you want. And even college, like,
well, a lot of parents try to live through their kids vicariously, and it's like at some point your kids will find you out, because it's like maybe as a parent you're saying you can do it, dream big, and you may be saying all those things, but if you're not doing it and you're not shooting for your dreams and you're not dreaming big and you're saying, oh, you can be anything you want, little Johnny, and this and that, it's like, yeah, but they're gonna be like, but mom, dad, like,
Where's your dream?
why aren't you doing it?
Yeah.
What are you doing right now? And they'll find you out. So I think we'll just,
Well,
you know,
let's stay there for a second because even if a parent was asked that, their immediate response is, "Oh, I had to give up my dream to raise you." But what are we teaching our kids in that moment? Because to me, I feel like we live for our kids. Like, I don't make excuses because of my kids. And a lot of the time, us parents want to use our kids as the
yep.
excuse, right? I mean, here we are, we own a
I'm
business.
sorry, but you making me thirsty. I'm just gonna say,
We just talking. Okay.
You making me thirsty.
But here we are. We're building a business, right? Doing something we've never done before. Um, we also raised 4 kids. They're in sports. Goodness gracious, I'm not ready for the two younger to be in sports. You coach. I mean, we not only do we run a business and help our own clients, but we also have over 100 licensed agents that we mentor and pour into on the daily.
Yep.
Like, could you imagine saying, "Oh, sorry, I can't today because of my kids"?
Right. I can't. Yeah. No.
It's almost like if we just really reprogram our mind and be like, "Well, I have to because of my kids."
Yeah, and we get to.
Mm.
That's another total mind shift. Is like you get to do it. Yeah. It's just an attitude thing. But most people, they just, I don't
Yeah.
know. But we've just been so conditioned for so long. Like what's been portrayed to us, where you got to have a certain status, or you gotta the stars have to align, and it's like there's so many immigrants that are coming to our country that are searching for the American dream,
And we watered it
and
down.
well, yeah, I guess as you take a drink of water, am I making you thirsty now?
You are.
We have to end this this episode earlier.
Oh my goodness, stop.
No, this is fun. I th- but yeah, like a lot of people, the American dream is just it's non-existent.
Yeah, we correlate the American dream to freedom because we have freedom of choice in America. But are you living your true freedom,
Yeah.
right? Because if you really even go back to school, and even that, our kids are not in traditional schooling because they're already being conditioned to walk a straight path and to be an employee. They're being taught how to listen and how to follow directions and how to just work until they get a small break. Like all of it is just conditioning us to then put us in a 9 to 5 where you get one vacation a year and don't call in too many times because you're going to be fired. And let's be honest, the world revolves around money. Money is a resource to give us everything we need in life, right? I mean, everything costs money. And we're in that scarcity mindset where it's like, well, I have to do this because how else will I survive?
Mhm.
And then we're just programmed, like you said, from the jump. We're programmed on everything. Like, even our kids' school, I get a lot of questions on that because our kids go to a non-traditional micro school. And they're like, wait, what is that?
Mhm.
And they're like, the first thing I hear, well, will they be able to graduate? And it's like, why is that the first thing that comes to your mind? Because you know what my kids will be? They'll be great negotiators. They'll know how to communicate. And let's be honest, that's a lost trait.
Yep.
And they're going to be able to actually operate in the real world,
Mhm.
which is the most important thing that us as parents can teach our kids, and how to actually listen to the Lord and walk in his purpose for their life.
Mhm.
That is what I'm supposed to raise my kids to be. Yet we freak out because we're like, are they going to have a diploma? And
I don't even know where my diploma is right now. I don't even know, like,
facts.
where is it?
And literally, I don't use my diploma for my business whatsoever.
Literally.
It's kind of just funny.
It is crazy to think about it, though. Just reimagining or just reflecting on it, which, I mean, I know the whole system's flawed, like the way that it was designed, and like we all know this, but that's probably the most sad part is people know it and then they don't do anything
not
about
brave
it.
enough.
And they're not, yeah, they don't have the courage, or maybe they just hadn't came across the right person to mentor them and help them,
That's
or they haven't been nudged or pushed or encouraged. Shout out to Brandon, right, your brother. I'm super proud of him and Candace and all of them, like our family. They also, branched out. He was working at a job for years, and
Doing
he
shift
always
work.
knew that he
Yeah.
wanted to do something else, and he went into entrepreneurship. And I don't take the credit. So Brandon, if you're watching this, I don't take all the credit, but like him being
Yeah.
able to see a video that we posted, and he's like, you know what, seeing
Encouraged.
that, like, it made me have the courage to step out and quit my job and go.
Yeah.
Now he's got one of the best businesses in town. And it's
They're
like,
flourishing.
they're
Yeah.
crushing it. He's hunting all the time and spending time with all the cousins. And so shout out to you, Brandon and Candace. Like, it's just, it may take someone some time to, like, go out on a limb and risk it, but it's like I'd rather try and fail than not try and live in
It's true.
regret, where it's like, because you can always go get a
Back.
job or go
Well,
work or whatever, I guess.
that blows
But
my mind. Our worst case scenario is your best case scenario. Like, I can always go get a job. I have lots of experience.
right,
And it's like, if you have that dream, if you have that desire, what's the worst thing that can
yeah.
happen? You fail?
Or
Try
what's
it?
the best that could happen? That's the question. I
Yeah.
love that. That's in at the kids at Cultivate, right? It's
Yeah.
like, what what's the best that could happen? And
You
I think a
enjoy
lot
it.
of us, if we could ask that question more often, like, what's the best that could happen? Or scared to make a phone call to somebody, or you're maybe trying to set an
Mhm.
appointment, or you're trying to, you know,
Related back to
yeah, of
business.
course. I'm just saying, like, anything that
True.
you question yourself on, um, it's like, what's the best that could happen? They say yes, or
You're successful.
you're successful
You
and
get to have a lot of time.
change your life, and things never look the same. And so it's like you just got to come to a point where you're just sick and tired of being sick and tired, though, and just get frustrated enough to want that change
It's true.
and get connected with the right people and the right platform or industry or whatever. But it's just take a risk. I mean, I'd rather try and fail than not try and just live in this, well, I guess it's just how it's going to be, and or I'm just fearful and scared. And so yeah, but the American dream, I mean, the way that our country has, I mean, I would like to say it's going to get better. I mean, we've read the book, we know it's not probably going to get better, but we can make the best out of where we're at and try to bring as many people along with us as we can, where we're on that straight and narrow. And broad is the path, but straight and narrow. But I mean, but I guess for us, like, what make what makes you keep going? Because I mean, they're just vulnerable, right? Like, there's
There's tough
there's
days.
there's
Yeah.
tough days too. It's not all rainbows and butterflies, that's for sure. There's a bunch of storms, and just a lot of
Well, choose
going.
your hard, right? I mean,
Yeah, choose your heart.
choose your hard, because it's like, even in the rough times, it's like, oh man, entrepreneurship sucks sometimes because, wait, I'm the boss. Or, wait, I got to go make it happen. But at the end of the day, it's like, it could be so much worse, right? And always trying to see the other side of it. Like, that's something like I think back on is just, through our journey, I'm always like, if I have a bad day, I always think back on the days that were worse, right? And I'm like, okay, but it could have been then.
Yeah,
Like, we could be there still. So I think just enjoying the journey, but also just knowing what we're doing it for. I think the vision, like, you have to be a visionary. You have to know that there's more, and it's all just that, a journey. And you have to grow into who is capable of having that vision and having that dream, and knowing that, in God's timing, all things will be perfect. And I think if we can just lead out of that and just have faith. But here's the truth, we talk about risk, and it's like, that's the things I have to remind myself, even in times where I'm like, dang, this is a scary moment, right? But it's like, okay, but with the risk comes reward. And just knowing, like, our kids are going to look back on us and say, thank you so much for showing me what's possible and what I'm capable of. I think that's what keeps me going. Is I want my daughters, I mean, obviously all of my kids, but I want my daughters especially to look at me and be like, I want to be like my mom. I want to be someone who pours into other people. I want to be someone who takes risk even when it's scary. I want to know what my body's capable of. And even when I gave home births and chose that, it was never for me. Like, yes, does it give me a feeling to know I birthed all of my children naturally? I always had in the back of my mind, I'm already making this decision for my daughters to get a choice. Because if I choose to be weak in this moment, my daughters, or they might still choose to be strong, but I wanted to show them what they're capable of when they grow up.
That's real. So I do have a question though, like when you're feeling down, like let's just be vulnerable because I know it's not all rainbows and butterflies, but like how do you snap out of it or how do you like get back to reality or just, I mean, because it's not all, there's a lot of ups and downs.
For sure. Yeah, entrepreneurship is definitely not easy by no means, but I think it's just rewarding. And for me, I know even on the down, like the very days that I'm just down and out, I just really think about the journey and just where we came from, where we started. But more than that, it's really just reminding myself while we're doing this. And for me, it's to be that example for our kids. I mean, our kids as a whole, but really my girls, right? My two little ones who I'm just like, they're watching my every move. And I want to show them what being a strong woman looks like and making choices for yourself. Like, to be honest, even the home births, it wasn't necessarily a decision for myself. It was a decision of what are my girls going to look back and think they're capable of. And I just wanted to show them that you're so much stronger than you think you are. You're capable of all things, and it's just a mindset. And so for me, on those tough days, I'm just like, Sarah, you better get back up because you have people watching you. And I just really want to instill that belief in them at an early age to let them know that even, yes, there's going to be bad days, but you are so much stronger than you think you are. And the world really is yours if you want it.
No, that's powerful. And I think, yeah, you're a great example of that and just a boss mom and, just doing the things. But yeah, you're hardcore. I mean, not everybody has that mindset. I mean, I know we've worked a lot on our mindset as far as just investing time in ourselves and just really personally developing. But I mean that's what the collective's all about, right? I mean, I know your vision. Talk a little bit about just the collective and the vision of what you like want to kind of describe to the people. I guess I don't even know what I'm asking, but
the collective really was put on my heart because of everything that we have done so far. Like, because we have chosen so many opposite things of what the world would tell us to do. And the collective is not to boast about us or, what we've done or who we are. It's just to show people what's possible and to invite them into the circle of like, you have people in your corner. We want to inspire them. We want to be there for them. We want to give them resources and things that we've already had to, walk through to just make it easier for them. But ultimately, I just want people to realize that they can choose, that they have the power of choice and they can make all their dreams come true.
yeah, no, that's what I'm excited about too. Like, I know we're going to try to get some resources out to people and like different tips and strategies and things of like time management and mindset and how to juggle all the things and just some of the things that's helped us get to kind of where we are. We're not even scratching really the surface on where we're headed, but like, yeah, we want other people to see what's possible.
Taste and see.
Yeah, and just we want to just inspire. I think that's our biggest thing is like, if we can do it, anybody
100%.
can do it, dude. Like it's
Just a choice.
it's just inspiration. But yeah, I'm excited to continue the collective and just talk about all the things and ready to dive deeper in some more topics and I'm excited for some other things that we're going to talk about. But
100%.
yeah,
Well,
cheers to
reimagining
reimagining the dream.
Cheers.
Love you.